Ladies and gentlemen, wonderful souls who are here today, I have a question for you. How many of us have found ourselves in a moment of doubt, when things don't go as planned, or when life feels like it's throwing everything at us? I know I have. We all have at some point or another. Now, here's the thing. We all face challenges, heartbreaks, and moments where we feel like we've lost something or someone we care about. But what if I told you that the power to bring that energy back into your life, the love, the connection, and the peace you're seeking, is already within you? We tend to believe that it's all about waiting. Waiting for someone to come around, waiting for the universe to do its thing, waiting for things to just click. But what I've learned, what I've seen in my life and the lives of so many people I've encountered is this. The secret isn't waiting for someone else to change. It's about changing yourself. Now, this isn't just about the romantic relationships we're talking about, right? This applies to every part of our lives, our work, our personal growth, our friendships, and even our connection with ourselves. The key to making something or someone come back into your life 100% is to first focus on you. Yes, I said it. Focus on you, the energy you give off, the love you radiate, the self-worth you own. These are the magnetic forces that attract others. You can't make anyone come back if you don't value yourself first. It's a tough pill to swallow, but the truth is people will be drawn to the version of you that is whole, confident, and living fully. I know many of us feel the pressure to fix our things, to go out of our way to make someone see our worth. But here's the magic. When you become the best version of yourself, when you elevate your mindset, your heart, and your spirit, you create an aura that people can't resist. And when you do that, if it's meant to be, they will come back, not because you begged, not because you chased, but because you became irresistible by just being you. Now, let's talk about love. Love is a beautiful thing, but sometimes it's about timing. Sometimes people leave, sometimes relationships take a step back, but here's what I want you to remember. True love doesn't need to be forced. If someone is meant to be in your life, they will come back. But only if you first cultivate love for yourself, because love is the greatest magnetic force in the universe, and I'm not talking about narcissism, not at all. I'm talking about self-respect, self-compassion, and the courage to stand tall and be unapologetically you. When you radiate that kind of strength, people notice it. And if they're ready to meet you at your level, they will. So here's the truth. He will come back 100% if you first come back to yourself. Elevate yourself, live with purpose, nurture your soul, and everything else will fall into place. Remember, you don't need to chase anyone. You don't need to try so hard. The universe will align when you align with your highest self. You have the power. You are unstoppable. You are enough. To truly bring about the changes you desire in your life, it's essential to start with yourself. Often, we think that in order to achieve what we want, whether it's love, success, or happiness, we need to rely on others or external circumstances. We wait for someone to change, for situations to improve, or for the perfect moment to arrive. But the reality is that transformation begins from within. When you focus on improving yourself, everything around you begins to shift. Self-focus means prioritizing your growth, your well-being, and your inner peace. It's about developing a mindset that is dedicated to personal development, rather than waiting for things to change externally. If you want to attract the right kind of people, the right opportunities, and the right energy into your life, you have to first become the person who naturally draws those things. When you invest in yourself, whether it's through gaining new skills, setting boundaries, practicing self-care, or nurturing your passions, you start to radiate a different energy. That energy becomes magnetic, drawing others in, not because you're trying to get their attention, but because you are naturally becoming your most authentic, confident, and empowered self. Moreover, focusing on yourself doesn't mean being selfish or neglecting others. It means understanding that your value comes from within, and that in order to be of value to others, you need to first be at peace with who you are. By becoming the best version of yourself, you are also creating the space for better relationships, both with yourself and with those around you. The more you focus on your own growth, the more your world changes, and the more you find that the people and things you once desired start to come to you naturally. Ultimately, it's the internal work, the self-focus, that has the greatest power to create the external changes you seek. It's not about waiting, it's about growing. Love is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It is the foundation upon which everything else in life is built. When you truly love and value yourself, you become magnetic, attracting the right people and opportunities into your life without even trying. This isn't about vanity or selfishness. It's about recognizing your own worth and nurturing the inner qualities that make you unique, beautiful, and strong. When you have a healthy sense of self-love, you radiate confidence and positivity. This energy is felt by others and can deeply impact the way people perceive you. People are drawn to individuals who exude self-assurance because it signals that you are comfortable in your own skin, independent and not reliant on others for validation. This kind of self-sufficiency creates an aura of strength and attractiveness that makes others want to be around you. You no longer need to seek approval or try to win people over. Love becomes the magnet that pulls them in. Additionally, self-love allows you to set healthy boundaries, which in turn fosters more meaningful and respectful relationships. When you truly love yourself, you don't settle for anything less than what you deserve. You know your worth and you expect to be treated accordingly. This kind of self-respect teaches others how to treat you, and it encourages relationships that are based on mutual respect, care, and understanding. The beauty of self-love is that it doesn't just attract the right people. It also brings a sense of peace and fulfillment into your own life. When you love yourself, you become less dependent on external sources of happiness. You find joy in your own company, and your happiness doesn't hinge on what others do or don't do. This inner contentment is what makes you truly magnetic, because it's not just about attracting others, it's about having the confidence to live a life that feels aligned with your true self. Love and connection, whether romantic or personal, should never be forced or rushed. When you try to push someone into a relationship or desperately seek their approval, the energy feels off, and it can often drive people away instead of drawing them closer. Relationships, at their core, are about timing, mutual respect, and genuine connection. If someone is meant to be in your life, they will return when the time is right. But it's essential to understand that forcing the process can never bring about a healthy or sustainable connection. Often, we find ourselves in situations where we want someone to come back, or we're desperate to fix things. But in these moments, we forget that true love doesn't need to be manipulated or controlled. When someone truly cares for you and values the relationship, they will come back on their own terms. It's about understanding that love is not transactional. It's not something you can manufacture or coerce. Trying to force someone to stay or to return will only create an imbalance, leaving you feeling depleted and unfulfilled. Instead, what you can focus on is your own journey. By letting go of the need to control the situation, you allow room for authenticity and growth. People return when they see the value of the relationship and when they're ready, not when they feel pressured. This doesn't mean you should passively sit back and do nothing. It means that you should continue to live your life fully without waiting for anyone to complete it. When you stop forcing the issue, you create space for real, meaningful connections to evolve naturally. It's important to remember that some relationships come into our lives for a reason, and others may leave. But trust in the process. If it's meant to be, it will come back on its own, without you needing to chase it or beg for it. Relationships that are meant to endure are built on respect, mutual growth, and the freedom to come together when the time is right. Becoming the best version of yourself is a transformative journey that not only benefits you, but also influences everything around you. When you dedicate time and energy to your personal growth, whether through learning new skills, improving your mindset, or pursuing your passions, you naturally become someone who attracts positivity and opportunities. This process isn't about changing who you are to fit into someone else's expectations. It's about embracing your full potential and stepping into a space where you are unapologetically you. When you focus on self-improvement, you begin to notice changes in the way others perceive you. People are drawn to individuals who are confident, self-assured, and passionate about their own journey. This energy becomes contagious, and others are attracted to your light, your ambition, and your authenticity. The more you invest in yourself, the more you build a magnetic presence that draws people toward you. You no longer have to chase after people or things because your personal growth and confidence naturally make you someone others want to be around. Being the best version of yourself also means being honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses. It's about accepting who you are and recognizing areas where you can improve. This self-awareness fosters resilience, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with grace and determination. When you face challenges from a place of strength, you not only grow but inspire others to do the same. As you continue to evolve and become the best version of yourself, you'll start to attract relationships, experiences, and opportunities that align with your true self. The people who come into your life will appreciate you for who you truly are, and you'll find that your connections become deeper, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. The key is that when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, everything else in your life begins to fall into place. True strength and happiness come from having a deep sense of self-respect and compassion. When you value yourself, you set boundaries that protect your well-being and preserve your energy. These boundaries are not walls meant to keep people out, but rather guidelines that define how you expect to be treated and what you are willing to accept. Without self-respect, it's easy to fall into situations where you give too much of yourself, draining your energy and compromising your happiness. But when you respect yourself, you teach others to do the same. Self-respect means recognizing your own worth and understanding that you deserve to be treated with kindness, fairness, and love. It's about knowing your limits and not tolerating behavior that goes against your values or diminishes your sense of self. When you practice self-respect, you stop seeking external validation, as you already know that you are enough. This internal sense of value is what empowers you to make decisions that are aligned with your true self, not based on fear or the need to please others. Alongside self-respect, compassion plays a vital role. It's not just about being kind to others. It's about being kind to yourself, especially during times of struggle or failure. Self-compassion allows you to forgive yourself for past mistakes, embrace your imperfections, and understand that growth comes through experience. By offering yourself the same understanding and support you would give to a friend, you free yourself from the burden of self-criticism and negativity. This inner peace is essential for building a strong, confident foundation. When you embody both self-respect and self-compassion, you naturally attract relationships that are rooted in mutual respect and understanding. You no longer settle for anything less than what you deserve, and you create an environment where love, care, and respect can flourish. People will see your strength, and in turn, they will meet you at the level of respect and kindness you've cultivated within yourself. Trusting the universe and allowing things to unfold naturally is one of the most powerful acts of self-assurance you can practice. Often, we find ourselves trying to control every aspect of our lives, managing our relationships, careers, and even the smallest of decisions. This desire to control everything stems from fear of uncertainty, fear of losing something we want, or fear of failure. But when we learn to let go and trust that the universe has its own plan, we open ourselves up to the natural flow of life and invite the right people, opportunities, and experiences to come our way. Trusting the universe doesn't mean being passive or inactive. It's about surrendering the need to control the outcomes and allowing life to unfold on its own terms. It means taking inspired action, pursuing your passions, and following your intuition, while also understanding that you don't have to have all the answers. There's a beautiful sense of peace that comes when you release the constant need to micromanage your path. You start to realize that life has a way of guiding you toward what's meant for you, even if it doesn't always look the way you expected it to. When you trust the process, you also begin to trust yourself. You recognize that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way, and you start to believe that everything, even the challenges, is part of your growth. Life has a way of bringing the right people and opportunities into your world at the right time. By trusting the timing of the universe, you make space for the right things to happen without forcing them. Ultimately, when you let go of the need to control every outcome, you allow room for the universe to surprise you with beautiful, unexpected blessings. You begin to understand that everything falls into place exactly as it should, and when it's meant to be, it will come back to you naturally. Trust in the process, trust in yourself, and trust that what is meant for you will never pass you by. Thanks to all.